Guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Gele Glam. I teach makeup, gele editing, and photography. To make this video right now. Okay, so my name is Israel. Family and friends call me Gele. I'm a makeup artist. I tie gele. I'm a photographer. I create content, video, and creative content. Okay, I'm also a videographer. I also teach digital business. I'm a digital entrepreneur. Like, I have a lot of classes you will be interested in. A lot of them. Okay, just send me a DM. How to how to use your Google My Business account, how to list your GMB account, how to optimize it, how to get it verified immediately. A lot of things about GMB. Okay, how to make your GMB effective and running. Okay, how to use your card for your payments. I'm talking about your sponsored card, how to run your sponsored card effectively, how to a lot of things. I have a detailed class on editing, okay, picture editing, video, a detailed 45-minute detailed class. All right, see all these classes there, they are extremely into details. I can bet with you that you will hardly get the information I share in my videos. You hardly get them anywhere. To details as that. All right, so whenever I take online classes, I make it look as if you're actually there. That's how I take my class. All right, so there won't be any difference between when you are there physically or a virtual class. All right, so having said that, let's get into the class. Basically, when it comes to gele, number one thing I want you to know first is that gele is very simple. This thing is just a non-living thing that has no mouth to talk, and all we are just doing, we are just twisting stuff around, okay, to get a desired result. So, like I said, it is very simple. Okay, all you need is to learn, then be consistent with what I'm going to teach you in this class. All right. So for this class, this particular class is for gele, okay, and you are expected to be, to able to tie after watching these videos. You can watch as many times as you can before you make your practice, okay. And I will always recommend for students to get their writing materials. When I take class, even from the first day, I can tell the result I'm going to get from you just watching how you handle that class. Okay, someone like me, you won't even know I don't grab things fast. Like I'm not this kind of person that is fast in learning, but because I know myself, so I write things down a lot. At the end of the day, when we come out to present, I eventually be the best. So people think I'm smart. No, because I understand myself and I get a way to balance myself. All right, so even beyond that, I will just recommend that you get a pen, your writing materials. Okay, so as you are watching this video, you are going to, while you are tying, you are going to see a lot of things. When you are writing it down, you are going to see, you're going to hear a lot of things, even more than the way I said it in the video, the way I explained it. So while transcribing to your notes, you put it down in your own language, even though I use the style adult Montessori, okay, which means that even if a 1-year-old baby comes to my class, you're going to understand every time I'm going to teach you, okay. So that is the way I teach my class. So having said that, the first style I'll be teaching you for this class is called 1 million pleats. That is the professional name. There's nothing like bridal. There are a lot of styles a bride can actually tie. So there's nothing like round or professionally it's called 1 million pleats. It's not as if we have million pleats, but because we have multiple pleats. Okay, so the first thing I would like you to know is the foundation or the whole making of gele. I relate 1 million pleats. That is what you call round, okay? So I'm going to be using the term 1 million pleats. I relate 1 million pleats to as if you are building a house. And when you are building a house, I'm sure one of the first thing or the basic things you need to figure out is your foundation. After making your research, making the whole research about the land, all those things, then you start the foundation where you want to start. Just like you have to make research about the kind of Ashoki, the kind of gele they are giving you. You don't just get somewhere and just start tying immediately. No, no, no. You have to understand what you are holding. Just like you can just go and buy a land somewhere without making an inquiry. How is this place look like? You know, are they going to be disturbed? You know, those kind of things before you start buying. The same way you should know the kind of material you're working on. So, like I said, I relate it to as if you are building a house. So the first thing you need is the foundation. And don't forget, if the foundation is not firm, what happens to the house? The building collapse. So the same way with gele. Probably you've heard about, oh, when the bride was dancing or the party guest was dancing, the gele just fell off. I would love. Sorry, don't hear you, but I mean, it's gone. Okay? So what basically happened there is just that the foundation wasn't firm enough. Okay, so which means that while I am looking at your gele game, I should be able to tell that your foundation pleats starts from here to this place. Why? Because it should be looking firm. Looking at it, it should be looking firm. So the way I tie my gele is I've broken the 1 million pleats into just 4 different stages. We have the F1, which is the first foundation. We have the F2, which is the second foundation. We have the F3, which is the third foundation, then finishing. So we have 3 foundations in 1 million pleats. F1, F2, F3, then finishing. Okay. So when I am looking at your game, I should be able to tell that this is where your F1, 2, 3 are. Why? It's looking firm. So the way I tie my stuff, I bother less with my finishing part once my foundation is firm. Okay. Once my F1, 2, 3 is firm, I don't struggle with the foundation. Okay, I mean with the finishing rather. I just play with it. I don't want my finishing pleats to jump back, to look too choky. You know, I don't want it to look too choked like my foundations, because those 3 foundations are going to be firm. Okay, but my finishing, I just play with it. I love my pleat to be, the finishing pleat to be relaxed. Alright. So having said that, we are going to get the textures. Don't forget I said please get your writing materials. Okay, and this is one of the ways this is going to help you, is that if you have a mindset that you want to be a good teacher, okay, you pay attention to details. You will. You always pay attention to details. So don't just learn for yourself. You are learning in a way that you have the mindset of, okay, everything I'm learning here, I can download these things and teach someone else. That is how it should be. So basically, we have 3 textures of Ashoki. 3 basic textures. This is the first one. I'm sure you must have seen this before. This is called metallic. Can you see we have 2 tones there, 2 colors. We have, I think, sky blue. I want another blue. Maybe we have blue or something, but it's not deep. But can you see we have two colors of, 2 different colors of blue color. Okay, it could be different colors mixed together. It could be just one single color, but this is called 2 tones of metallic Ashoki, because we have 2 different colors mixed together. So we have this. This is called cotton. Can you see? This is called cotton. This is called cotton. Can you see? It's looking like a matte material. You know, just like we have a matte lipstick and matte foundation. So it's looking matte. The texture looks matte. And this is Crantex. 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 Okay. Can you see? Now, if you look at this, the cotton, you look at the metallic and look at the Crantex, you will realize that, of course, this is out of it. It's looking matte. But if you look at this is also shining, but not as shining as this. This is a pure glowing fabric. But this is not, just a part of it is shiny, and not some are actually looking dull, like a matte fabric. So this tells us that the combination of cotton and metallic gives us Crantex. So, and that is why you are seeing this, not every part of my Crantex is shiny. So the shiny part is the metallic content in there, and the other part is the content of the cutting content that is in here. I hope you understand. I said we have metallic, we have crown text, and we have cutting, and I said the combination of metallic and cotton gives us crown text, as simple as that. All right, I'll go to the measurements. The measurements. This is one of the greatest issues that gives people, one of the greatest things that gives makeup artists issues, not knowing the particular measurements a gele is. You're trying to use a gele that is 65 in length, and someone gave it to you to tie 1 million pleats for her. You keep sweating till Jesus comes. So you can easily, because you understand the measurements, you can easily tell this person that this will not give you what you want. Then you can change the style. All right. So basically, we have averagely we use 4 layers of Ashoki. Averagely 4 layers of Ashoki. Okay. You can use 5, you can use 6, you can use 7, you can use, I've done 8 before. I called it 1 billion pleats. I wanted to frame that day. I called it 1 billion, this is 1 million pleats. So I called 8 layers. I used 8 layers, then I called it 1 billion pleats. I've never tried it again since then in my life. Alright, so this is 4 layers. This is what we call layers. This is how we call layers. Can you see where it's joined together? Can you see? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4 layers of Ashoki. Let me bring it. Can you see? This is 4 layers of Ashoki. Alright, so each join lane is called a layer. So can you see? So from here to here is 1 layer. Okay. Now for 4 layers, I'll be using 4 layers as a measure. So if you know 4 layers, you know every other measurement. Okay. So for 4 layers, you need minimum of 85 to 90 inches. I'm talking about the length now. For 4 layers, you need a length of 85 to 90 inches. Which means if you have 85 inches, you are good with 4 layers. If you have 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, with more than 90, you are going to have issue with it. Yeah. You're going to have issue with it. You know how to, it's not as if when you have something, even if you have 80, you can still tie. But you know how to, you need to start using some tricks, okay? You need to start using some tricks for you to achieve what you want to do. But without giving yourself headache or anything, you need 4 layers of 85 to 90 inches. How did you know the measurements? When you get home, get the tape roll, measure 36. You know 1 yard is 36, right? Measure 36 out of this. For me now when I stretch my hand like this, when I stretch my hand this way, this part of my chest makes it 36 inches. If I give you tape like this, you measure, it will not be -1 or +1. It makes it 36. So this is 36. Just by the hair, you just have to know your head is your instinct, okay? This is 36 for me. This is another 36, makes it 72, right? The rest is 18. So I have 90. This is how I do my gele. 90 by 4 layers. That's what I do. Now, after that, okay, I can just put this. So after that, when you get to your place of work, don't just pick gele and start tying. The first thing you need to check is the gele, because gele alone can actually spoil your work right now. You know, right? Gele alone can spoil your work. You need to know the measurements so that you now start, while you are doing the makeup, you now start thinking about the style you want to give. You need to communicate with your client, or you need to change the style. If the gele is hard, I'm going to show you how to make hard gele soft. If the gele is hard, do you need to make it softer, or things like that? You just need to understand what you're working on. Okay, so when you get your place of work, ask for the gele first before you do any other thing. All right. So after that, I'll be explaining the 4 stages: the F1, F2, F3, and finishing. Though when I'm showing you the practical, I will still talk about it, but let me tell you everything so that you'll be able to flow with it when I'm tying. So for all you need to know is, you need to understand that the more the layers, the more the length should be. The lesser the layer, the lesser the length should be. So if we have 4 layers of 90 inches, 85 to 90, if you now have 5 layers, it's expected that the length should also increase, right? So if I say for 4 layers, you need minimum of 85 inches and maximum of 90 inches in length. Now that's for 4 layers. Now for 5 layers would be 90 to 95. If 4 layers is 85 to 90, 5 layers will be 90 to 95. 6 layers will be 95 to 100. Some layers will be 100, like that. So for 3 layers, if 4 layers is 85 to 90, 3 layers will be 80 to 85. I hope you understand that. If you write it down, you understand the logic. It's just plus 5, plus 5, plus 5. Okay, good. Now, after that, now for my 1 million pleat, for 4 layers, F1 is constant for any layer. F1 is constant. The first foundation is constant, which is 1 single pleat. This is what we call pleats. We say pleats. This is what I call pleats. P-L-E-A-T. I just made 4 pleats now, so this is how we call pleats. Okay, so your F1 is constant, which means just 1 single pleat. So your F1 is 1 single pleat. Now your F2 is going to be 5 to 7 pleats on 4 layers, which means that you can make 5, you can make 6, and you can make 7 for your F2. I said F1 is constant for whatsoever layer or layers you have. But F2 on 4 layers, I've been using 4 layers as the measure, right? For F2 on 4 layers, it will be 5 to 7 pleats. And don't forget I said the more the layers, the more the length should be, right? So if I have 5 layers, the number of my F2 should also increase. If my F2 is 5 to 7 pleats on 4 layers, my F2 on 5 layers will be 6 to 8. 5 to 7 on 4 layers, 6 to 8 on 5 layers, 7 to 9 on 6 layers. Like that. It's just plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. 4 layers is 5 to 7, which means you can do 5, you can do 6, you can do 7 if you like. That's for 4 layers. For 5 layers will be, instead of 5 to 7, it will be 6 to 8. Okay, 1, 1. You add 1 to 5, you add 1 to 7. Then you add 1, 1. So what if it's 3 layers? If F2 is 5 to 7 on 4 layers, then you subtract 1, 1 for 3 layers. So that would be 4 to 6. Okay? Then, that is for F2. Now for F3. F3 is made up of 3 to 4 pleats. You can do 3, you can do 4 on 4 layers. So if you are using or you're working on 5 layers, instead of 3 to 4, it will be 4 to 5. If you are using 6 layers, it will be 5 to 6. Like that. So what if it's 3 layers? If F3 on 4 layers, on my 4 layers is 3 to 4, my F3 on 3 layers will be 2 to 3. I subtracted 1, then subtract 1 from the other. Okay? Having said that, now before you go to the finishing, a lot of people, in fact 95% of people will always skip this. And it's part of the reason why their gele doesn't come big, number 1. And it's part of why they keep on struggling to pick their pleats. Okay? After F1, F2, F3, the next is finishing, right? There's an interface between F3 and finishing. So when you are done with F1, F2, F3, before you go to the finishing, you have 2 things to do. And I'll be showing you those 2 things when we get to the practical class. Okay? So I think I've exhausted the introduction, all I need to tell you about 1 million pleats. See you in class!